Hello and welcome to another update video about Fantom. In this video I want to talk about the Fantom price, the Fantom chart, and why I'm also getting a little bit worried now. So with Fantom, I started to cover it on the 3rd of October. That was really early days, compared to where we are now. So that's nice, of course not as early as down here. Anyway, I started to invest in Fantom as well, made some nice profits, and I have been bullish on Fantom, as you know, so it was a good time to buy here when we were at this ascending trend line. Then we pulled away from it, as we so oftentimes do in cryptos. When you can identify a nice trend line, these are for me normally the good times to buy, especially when you can identify a breakout point like here at 150. After that we just moved up. So since then we've been recovering in a bull flag, come all the way up now to 260. 260 was my price target that I mentioned before that pump there. We hit it pretty much exactly, overshot a little bit, but found resistance there, and we're now below it, retracing a little bit. So basically two of my price targets were hit. One was the 245, one was the 260. So we want to take a look at where we are going now. So I mentioned these price targets because of the Fibonacci extension levels after that move here that happened on the 16th and 17th of October. So after that move, we retraced down to the golden pocket, the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. Since then, we've gone up to the 1.272 extension level, which was the 245 level, which was my first price target. And now we've hit the second one at 260, which is the 1.618 extension level. Now the one that can come after that is 276 and $3. Yeah, these are the next levels that in my view would now be approached and addressed, and where we can expect some retracement. Now what we can see here actually is that we are retracing now, obviously, and in my view, yeah, it still looks like a bullish consolidation. Of course, we were overheated again here on the 4-hour chart. The RSI was back in the overbought range. Whenever that happened in the last few days, we were retracing back a little bit, having a bit of a correction, and that is normal. Just need to take that RSI out down here. Don't know why I've got two RSIs on the chart. So anyway, what is nice to see is, of course, that we have the 20-day moving average come up quite quickly. So we're not too far away from the 20-day moving average, which is nice. Also, the 50 is going to provide some support here should we really drop below these lows. Now, if we really drop below these lows here at around 216, I think then we could really fall much further. We could go down to 192, 193 here, this low, this high. We could find support at the 20-day moving average, which is currently at 205 here. But if we then drop even below that, we could, I think, even come down to that trend line again, which is currently sitting at around 166, 167. Yeah, so I think here we'll find some support again. These would be good times to buy. I wouldn't personally buy now because we are now certainly in overheated environment. We have moved up quite a lot already, and it's just more risky now. Yeah, it's more risky. There are some other cryptos which haven't broken out yet, whereas Fantom has. I'm not saying that Fantom won't go up from here. I think it has the potential to go up further. But as I always say, it's good to buy when we are not in an overheated environment, as here, buying the dips, and then be ready to take some profits. Yeah, I mean, I will certainly continue to hodl a certain part of my Fantom portfolio. I think I might take some profits, just because other cryptos haven't moved yet, and I want to reshuffle a little bit. But it's just something to be aware of, that I'm getting a little bit worried because the higher we go, obviously, the more overheated we get. And we certainly have potential here to go up in the short term a little bit higher as well. Now I gave you the levels that we could reach, but I also say if we get below these lows here and even get back into the channel, I think then we can come down to that trend line again. Overall, still bullish on Fantom, certainly. I think it's still early days, very early days. What is certainly a little bit worrying, I just want to mention it in this video. Now, everybody is pretty much in the money now. Yeah, everybody, there's some profit taking now already with retracement going on. So you can see that everybody's basically in the money because we have reached all-time highs. Now, the only thing I want to mention here, and I'm not sure how aware you are, but I think you deserve to be aware, is that whale concentration. There's more than 50% of Fantom tokens are owned by whales. So this is the whale volume here. over 50%. Now, what is a whale? So according here to Into the Blog, they categorize a whale as someone who owns more than 1% of circulating supply. So everybody in these 54% owns more than 1% of the total supply. Then we've got retail volume, which is only 25%. This is everybody who owns less than 0.1% of the circulating supply. And then we've got sort of people in the middle holding 0.1 to 1%. So it just shows that there is quite a lot of whale concentration. That is very small for Cardano, for example. But retail is very high for Cardano. Just shows the decentralization. Now, I would argue because of this, Fantom isn't very decentralized, which might not be a problem, but it just shows that if 1 or 2 addresses or 3 or 4 hold a lot of Fantom, they could move the market fairly quickly. I'm also a bit worried about all these people coming in now. These are traders, short-term traders who have come in to participate in price increases, and they could also just sell very quickly because they are no long-term holders. So it's just, again, something to be aware of. On top of that, we've got a bit of a descending divergence here, bearish divergence here on the RSI currently forming, whereas we are making higher highs here and lower highs on the RSI. Now that high, I mean, yeah, we came into the overbought range, which is why we had to retrace. So it's just, again, something to be aware of, that we could see a little bit of a price drop coming at some point. Now, it doesn't need to be now, but it's always a first heads up. The same happened back here. Now we were overbought, much more overbought back then, here as well. So you had a bearish divergence. That means you made higher highs on the price, lower highs on the RSI, and then you came down. So for me, it's all about adjusting the stop loss. And if you're in there for the long run, you won't worry anyway. But if you're in there for the short term, so I've got a short-term trading position here, then it's all about adjusting the stop loss, which I will certainly set probably below these lows here, or even below the 20-day moving average potentially. So just to, in case it dumps hard, just to maybe buy back cheaper, maybe at this trend line, because I think if we drop below these lows, there might be one more support here before we then drop to the ascending trend line. But overall, very nice profits. Really impressed what Fantom did, how it performed in the last few days and weeks. So really positive. Let me know what you do with your Fantom. Are you going to hold? And again, I wouldn't take any. Well, maybe I take a little bit of profit, but I leave quite a bit in there and just adjust my stop loss. That's what I'm doing. So hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, please subscribe. There will be, for channel members, again on Sunday, a live stream. And of course, we've got the live chat open anyway for every channel member. So if you like more interaction, more in-depth communication, more on-time alerts, then maybe consider a channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.